Hello, Sat Sangat, again with the astrology of the January 2025, crucial day in the United States. I decided to make this video just because it is an event that is so important for everyone in the, at least in the Western world, and part also for the Eastern Hemisphere as well, because it is a change of game. And I think we need to know astrologically what is going on. And I already tell you ahead of time, this is not a political video. So only make astrological comments, and I will follow the astrology, and I will interpret the astrological energies. And I am not talking politics. In fact, I am not involved in any politics of any kind for any party. Whatsoever. So I will follow the charts that I prepared for you. So this Sun Pluto midheaven in the chart of the inauguration, I will show you next, shows the might makes right philosophy. And I will explain why, of course, because there's a high level of empowerment in the sun in the midheaven, is a sun that is most prominent and that is the brightest, and of course it represents a maximum authority. And having Pluto next to it, as you will see here in the chart, represents a high level of empowerment and sometimes cruelty. It depends, of course, how the person will use the energy of Pluto. But usually, a midheaven with Sun and Pluto in Aquarius. In fact, the midheaven is in Capricorn, end of Capricorn. And this is significant as well because Capricorn is the sign of the old systems, is the chronic systems as well. It's also traditions, is heaven that represents conservatism. It's a midheaven that represents everything that is the old way, like the feudal system where there is a lord at the top of the pyramid and then all the subjects underneath, right? And all the subjects paying tribute to that maximum kingly authority. So that's the feudal system that has been in place for a long time, as we know, as Capricorn represents, of course. However, we need to consider that Saturn, the ruler of Capricorn, and by the way, traditional ruler of Aquarius as well, is in Pisces. So its energy is dissolving there. It is very soft at the edges. So it is also disintegrating. So this Saturn in Pisces is showing that this energy in both Capricorn and Aquarius is not fully solid and rocky and concrete and crystallized. There is an energy that is softened, and the boundaries are softened and porous, and they are permeable. So this Saturn represents, if you want, decay in the traditions, and also represents a decay and dissolution of the conservative ideas and the rules that have ruled so far. Now, Pluto and the Sun, the midheaven, represents this empowerment in this inauguration of this head of state. But also, as I said before, it represents control, dominance, oftentimes by cruel methods, because Pluto, we can't say it's soft and kind and considerate. No, Pluto severs. Pluto is the Lord that is associated with surgery as well. So Pluto severs. It's also it represents oligarchy. It represents corporations, like plutocracy, and is also it means that this head of states, represented by the sun at the midheaven, is also possibly using force and to control, including the military, the police, and manipulation, and all kinds of subterfuges, the secret movements and secretive dealings in order to obtain their objectives. Now, there is also a representation of the scientific and technological empowerment, and is the empowerment of internet, the empowerment of this kind of technology that is more abstract and is innovative. And it has to do with the resources, because the ruler of Aquarius, Uranus, is in Taurus. So it could also represent the empowerment of certain monetary resources, like electronic resources, electronic money, and also the empowerment of financial institutions. So we can say still that it is opposite Mars, even though Mars is fading away to the opposition, but it's still within orb, even though in another sign. But we see that here at the bottom, this is the reaction of the opposite, the opposition. In this case, in the third house, it might represent the opposition or the defensive movements of the brothers and sisters in the country, which are the states that are integrating the union. So there are defensive moves within the 50 states or the states that are dissident or that are opposite with this maximum authority. They, and even neighboring countries, they have taking activities or decisions or actions that will be protective for them against, of course, this powerful influence. Now, um, I I also have the Uranus joining the ascendant. You see it here. I think it represents a revolutionary movement that is coming up. Let's say in 4 years or so, a big revolution. Because if we take the solar arc, the ascendant will join Uranus in 4 years. Now, Mercury in the ninth house is 18 degrees, very bad degree. It is square the moon at 18 degrees as well, and Chiron at 19 degrees here. So the 18 degrees is a very disadvantageous degree. It is the degree that is associated with problems because it's associated with the sign of Virgo, and Virgo is the sign where problems are, with conflicts are that need to be resolved, and imbalances that need to be balanced. But most importantly is I want to show you how this Mercury, Moon, and Chiron is a T-square. But I would like to show you different perspective on this, because we have the moon that is, let's say, in Libra, very worried about reconciling relationship, right? It is a double sign, which means that it's a sign where oscillation happens, a sign that is usually concerned about pleasing the other, trying to get agreements and get some harmony. So, and the moon represents the people, not only in the sign of Libra, but in the decan of Aquarius, ruled by Uranus. So, this moon is also related to revolutionary changes, and as I said, it's emotionally people are concerned about reconciling. However, in opposition with Chiron, it's the only way to do it is sacrificing the survival of the individualism, the survival of individuals, and Chiron represents the vulnerability of life, vulnerability of individuals, of even the identity, so the sacrifice of identities. And we will see how this is showing, but Mercury at the same time in Capricorn, it is more concerned with planning, organizing, being real, being very efficient. So this Mercury in Capricorn is talking first, 18 degree Virgo is talking about problems, right? Problems to be solved, but in an efficient way, problems to be solved in the institutions. Capricorn. It talks about planning, organizing, putting things in order, and also in the decan of Taurus, which is finances. Of course, is no news for anybody that needs the finances of the country need to be put in a good standing. The treasury is broken. So that's no news. In every sense, the finances of the country, the assets are in danger. So Mercury is here talking about all these issues and that they need to be resolved. So it is triggering this opposition, Moon, Chiron, which represents, as I said, people sacrificing their own individual survival, if you want, or their own individualities in order to adjust, let's say, to these decisions or plans or organization that is taking place. But I wanted to show you this. This is a chart or a graphic for declinations. And in declination, it seems that this moon is contra-parallel with Chiron, which also is a double affirmation of the opposition, Moon Chiron. Contra-parallel will be a declination that one of them is north and the other is south. And let me find out which one is. So the moon is south. The moon is south. Yeah. And Chiron is north. So they are contra-parallel, meaning that they are at approximately the same declination, however, they are opposite. So this, as I said, doubles the significance of the opposition. And this moon is reflecting the problems that or reflecting and projecting and illuminating the vulnerabilities here in identities, right? Identities like nationality identities, gender identities, color identities, all those are in question by this moon opposition. Now we have also Mercury is parallel Pluto and parallel Ceres. Now I want to talk about Ceres because Ceres seems to be involved in so many important, very important events. And we astrologers often overlook because we don't understand too much about Ceres. But this astrologer, Dimitra George, has written a book called Asteroid Goddesses, the Mythology, Psychology, and Astrology of the Re-Emerging Feminine. And she speaks about Ceres in Aquarius. And I'm going to read what she says because it is very important. So, so the nurturing series in Aquarius, right? And it's at 16 degrees, and it is trine the moon. And the moon has already passed the trine. And it says that identifies nurturing with individuality. So this mothering experience fostered self-determination and recognition of the rights of others. So, in fact, series, what it's saying here is that your identity and your individuality matters if you are nurtured on or not. So it depends on your individuality, who you are, and then if you are nurtured or not. It's like, for example, if usually it happens in nature often that some kind of animal has babies, and one of the baby is different in some way, so the mother rejects it and doesn't feed it just because for nature reasons. Um, so that's in a nutshell. Also is rebellion without a cause, um, and other things. But what is most important is this parallel series, parallel Mercury. And I'm going to read you because it's a similar and even more potent aspect than the conjunction. Even though it's not a conjunction, but it's considered a conjunction because the declination is the same. So, in harmonious aspects, this is Demetria George again, is signify the ability to communicate empathically with others and have rapport with beings who exhibit various levels of intelligence or various different kinds of people, for example. Children, mentally disabled, plants, animals, right? Stressful aspects like conjunction or parallel could be considered both stressful and harmonious because it's a conjunction, and it depends how it manifests. So, stressful aspects indicate difficulties in communicating one's nurturance needs to others, especially the family. Um, so, integration of both archetypes can be achieved if the individual develops new communication skills that enable them to clearly articulate their needs and actively listen to and receive responses of others. So this parallel between Mercury and Ceres implies the need to communicate, the need to make a rapport, to relate to the other in order to get to know their needs and their needs basically, right? Or those who are different, so-called different. Now, Mercury is also parallel to Pluto, meaning that this Mercury and Pluto means a high level of control in the speech, right? And even intense power in the way one addresses the audience. So we can expect on January the 20th to have strong words, strong measures being taken The other aspect is Ceres contra-parallel Jupiter. In this case, I contra-parallel acts as an opposition, even though not so strong. And if we go to Ceres aspects to Jupiter, we'll read the uh, aspect can denote the exaggerated experience of nurturing or an over identification with a parental role. The inability to say no to others' needs. Um, that can deplete one's own nurturing reserves or lead to personal overindulgences, such as overeating, for example. So, this is important in this context because it has been announced that of many people who are not welcomed anymore and they will be deported. So this, I think it represents this rejection in an exaggerated manner of people who need nurturance, right? Who need protection. Series can represent protection through nutrition. So this can represent that idea. Now, also, Uranus is parallel the ascendant. As I said, it is like being conjunct the ascendant, which is just in latitude is just 4 degrees apart. So we are seeing a revolution. This chart is the chart of a revolution, especially regarding assets, financial matters, resources, everything that is energy, um, or storage and use of energy, banking, and it's also, I think it's also, it represents the the shakes in the financial markets because Taurus, you see the stock market has a Taurus uh, on the street, on the entrance, right? And it represents resources and the assets and all of that. So we see that everything will be shaken. So the stock market will uh, I don't know, maybe collapse, maybe, I don't know, go up, go down, or both. Who knows? um, I'm not a financial astrologer, so if you are interested in investments and all that, you are better worth using a financial astrologer which specialize on that. Okay, so now, what I would like to show as well is the transits over the Sibley chart. And this is the most interesting. And I'm gonna start by Pluto transiting the third house with the sun putting the focus on the third house. And the third house is very near the south node, both of them. Pluto, I'm going to tell you when Pluto will join the south node of the United States of America. The first time will be exactly 18th of March 2027. Second time, 22 of June 2027. And also, Pluto will station at 6 degree 40 minutes in Aquarius, exactly conjuncting the south node. So, and I recorded all the dates and periods of time when Pluto will be transiting just the 6th degree in Aquarius, and it will be a long, 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 long time. So, and then I'm gonna give you the dates, and then I will tell you what I think it means. So, Pluto is transiting the 6th degree of Aquarius from February 6th March to March 31st, April the 10th, 24th of June, and that is in 2027. So all those dates are 2027, and particularly June 15, 2027, will be in exact trine with Uranus, the first exact trine with Uranus. So those from February to June, July, it will be a total of 27 days in July, 98 days in 2027. So 98 days is the total of days where Pluto will be conjuncting the 6th degree of Aquarius in the year 2027. Now, in 2028, the total will be 138. 31 days in January, 3 in February, 5 in August, 30 in September, 31 in October, 30 days in November, and 8 in December. So, and precisely over the 6 degree 35 minute where the south node is, this will happen from 14 to 16 November 2028. And also 20 of September 2028, which is the equinox. And stations at 6 degree 24 minutes, this 19 of October, and trine with Uranus 13 of January 2028 again. So all those dates and all that time, total, as I said, in 2027, 98 days, in 2028, 138 days. So this, what it means to me is disempowerment of the states of the Union, because the third house, and I use whole sign houses, I think they are much, much more precise than any other system, especially in the mundane astrology. But you will judge at the end and see if this is accurate or not. In, I don't know, 4 years maybe. So this empowerment of the states of the Union, transformation and regeneration and remaking of neighboring countries, forced to adapt to the new conditions, circumstances. I think the states of the unions will be suffocated by control, and I think there is a risk of disintegration, which is what Pluto does, right? It disintegrates. It makes compost disintegrate and makes fertile ground for something else to grow. Obviously the neighboring countries as well will be manipulated through trade according to the rules of the United States, and then probably will either give out or give in, who knows, by frustration, but things, events may be out of control. Of course, Pluto is the master of controlling, but getting itself out of control, trying to dominate and crash and destroy, because it is the purge of the zodiac. It is the destroyer. Is the one, as I said, the master of composting and creating fertile ground for new things to grow. So it will be a period that is very disruptive, especially those years, 2027 and 2028. And it will be slow to become because Pluto works slowly, for example, Pluto is the lord of oil, the petroleum. And petroleum has been forming for thousands and thousands and tens of thousands of years or millions of years, right? And because the organic matter has gone down underneath and then it's decomposed and becomes oil. So that's the reign in the kingdom of Pluto, underground things that he destroys very slowly, very, very slowly, undermining with using, for example, bacteria, using germs of all kinds, right? Viruses as well. So also Pluto is the ruler of the 12th house, which is Scorpio, right? So typically what Pluto does is secret, is, as I said, from behind, in a secret manner, in ways that are not obvious, with secret deals and manipulations and all kinds of things. So this empowerment will be due to trade, to commerce, which is third house issues, with neighboring countries and interstate within the union. So there will be power struggles among internal states that will cause disturbances of the internal distribution systems, right? Aquarius rules the systems, distribution systems, like in the body. For example, the physical human body, it is associated with the nervous system. It is associated with the distribution of the blood. And of course, metaphorically, it represents in the third house, distribution systems of goods and commerce. For example, these chains of distribution, corporate chains of distribution, and networks. Um, so, probably the rebel states may be left out on their own. Another thing that is that is undergoing this decomposition is paper money that goes out the drain and loses value. Of, paper money is an issue in mundane astrology of the third house. So it probably will not be used anymore. As I said, it will be electronic money. And another thing that will suffer is any kind of communication systems, like free speech, for example. It will be very much under control. And the postal system, telephone system, transportation systems, bridges will be severely affected by control, destruction, regeneration, reconstruction. It will be a complete overhaul of all the communication systems. As well as, for example, third house is also journalistic work. And we have seen that Mercury, representing journalism, was in T-square with the moon and Chiron, so already challenged. But third house is also journalistic work, and is probably going to suffer disempowerment discredit, control, very much the control over any public opinion. Another thing that will certainly happen is liberation of prices that, together with the tariff changes, will cause inflation, and that's not news for anybody. Another thing that has been talked about was elimination of the federal support to elementary education. This is elementary education, third house. In the mundane astrology is the system of elementary education. With this system go the teachers and all that kind of, there will be profound transmutations, I will say, in education and in the life of teachers, especially elementary teachers. There will be severe extreme disturbances in the weather. It's also a third house issue. Either too cold or too hot, because Pluto is the lord of the underworld, where it could be too hot in certain places or too cold. And it will be the most powerful transformation will take place in the third house. Now, let's go to Mars transiting the eighth house. And as you see here, Mars is in conjunction with Mercury. So it would be impossible to talk about all the aspects on this chart, but I'm gonna just touch on the most remarkable, most important. I would say Mars over Mercury is very aggressive kind of speech. Eighth house is deals, secret deals, powerful crisis, transformations. So one of them will be journalism, as I said, and there will be aggressive conversations regarding nationalism. Cancer is represents the love for my country, the love for those who are like me, the love for my family, my close family, my home country, my hometown, right? So it will be a very aggressive discourse regarding this nationalism, the love for what is mine. So the other let's see, Mars is also in conjunction to Mercury, and Mercury is here in the second house, talking about resources and making plans, traditional plans about how to manage and administer the treasury, etc., and the assets. It's in square with the moon in the 11th house. The moon in the 11th house is coming out of the conjunction with Saturn, but the moon is putting light, and it's also a closing square or waning square to the sun, and it's closing the cycle that started in Capricorn, by the way. So this moon cycle started in Capricorn as well, and is closing now. Now this moon may shed light over the legislation, the laws that are being implemented, and how they are triggered by this plan. This financial plan, let's say, and how that will affect the Chiron, and Chiron has been let's see, Chiron was I have long notes here. I have the dates of Chiron here because Chiron is the Chiron return in the here I see it. So the first passage of Chiron return for the United States at 20 degrees 8 minutes was April 18, 2024. The second was retrograde May 6, 2024. And the next one was October 19 through November the 12th, 2024. But now we will have another one, uh, another passage on February 16 to March 8th, 2025. So Chiron will come back to the 20 degrees. Some of that coincided with problems in schools, again, in high schools, and such. So we will have also, there were diplomatic problems since April 2024, diplomatic work that in reality shows the vulnerability of the country. Okay, so let's go back to the notes here. Okay. So Mars with Mercury here in the eighth house are aggressive communications, even news about death, assault. Also, I would say Mercury in Cancer is the ruler of the 10th house, which is the house that represents the maximum authority, which is the president. So Mars exactly on Mercury indicates to me that there could be aggression, attack on that person. I don't know when, but it is something that I heard other astrologers using different techniques, confirming my prediction. My prediction is very simple. Mars is on top of Mercury. Mercury is the ruler of the 10th house. Other astrologers use the chart of the president and do profections and do transits and progressions, etc. To me, is obvious, evident here on the inauguration chart. And there is also the transit of the South Node for a year and a half in Virgo, transiting the 10th house. It will soon enough conjoin Neptune, which is very debilitating. Even there could be mental issues, problems, more delusion, more confusion, mental confusion. It's Virgo after all. It is mental, it's very mental, ruled by Mercury. And the South Node will deplete the energy and deplete the power of the presidency. So I'm not sure what this represents in practical means. If it is the health, it could be the health, right, Virgo? It could be the health debilitating some regard. And as I said, it could be Mars on Mercury is also inflammation. Inflammation, it could be related to the intestine, for example, or it could be just plain poison as well. So, so let me see. And the eighth house, Mars is in the eighth house, which is secrets. And in Cancer, is Mars in Cancer is retrograde, so it is not openly out there to say it goes and shoots the person. No, it will be subterranean. Um, Okay, so Mars also rules the fifth house in Aries, which is going to affect the stock market and the news, Mercury, of the stock market. So the legislation will be over the budget, will strongly affect the stock markets and increase market speculation. So people will lose lots of money. People will gain lots of money. It will be unexpected. It will be just surprise. It will be very volatile. Also, the popularity of the country goes down. Um, uh, and there will be depletion of community resources. Um, Chiron return, the second pass will be because there's two Chiron returns, one in 2024, another in now 2025, as I said, February 15 to March 8. And so uh, so there are high level of risks and speculations regarding the weaknesses of the country. So it will be a reputation, very vulnerable reputation, questionable level of education, inadequate standing of teachers, lack of value to teachers, lack of cultural identity, the imperialism goes down. And also, it will be great and high vulnerability in recreation areas. The fifth house is recreation, educational areas, sports, all of that, sports sites and locations. So now I also would like to, if I find the page, so I also will read the Sabian symbol for the first degree of Aquarius, which is where the sun is. Okay, and it says Aquarius 1, an old adobe mission in California. The power inherent in all great human works to endure far beyond the worker's lifespans. So, as we all know, the Spanish missions are standing still. So it says concretization of an ideal. This also implies the immortalization of an individual with a great collective and cultural enterprise. So certainly the history will remember this for a long time for any works that he might accomplish, um, be it good or bad or whatever. So it doesn't matter. It is very solid in the historical standing. So then Pluto is at the second degree of Aquarius and is kind of completely the opposite because it says an unexpected thunderstorm. And the keynote is the need to develop the inner security which will enable us to meet unexpected crises. So an interesting connection can be made between the symbols of Taurus 1 that I just read before and 2 that I'm reading now. And this is the Sabian symbol from Dane Rudier. There is an astrological mandala, um, and it's online. It's available to everyone. So a clear mountain stream and an electric storm. And those for Aquarius 1 and 2, 270 degrees apart, a waning square in terms of a cycle of relationships such as the lunation cycle. In the first case, we deal with energies or activities that can be related to the natural development of the individual, in this case of the country. But here we are primarily concerned with social, collective processes and the function of the individual or country within them. The symbol itself, an unexpected thunderstorm, could be given a very positive meaning in an arid environment, but the emphasis on unexpected tends to accent the sudden and dangerous character of the event. Such a thunderstorm in a region of dry hills can cause a devastating flood. At any rate, it refers to an event for which one is not prepared, a menace to men's works. And it ends, it says, under a downpour of rain, adobe brick can return to mud. All human institutions and their achievements can be washed away. I will read that again. All human institutions and their achievements can be washed away, even in their day of great glory. Dust you were, dust you must become. So, and this is nature's challenge. So I think in this conjunction, Sun Pluto, it is the maximum elevation and the maximum downfall at the same time. Thunderstorm right next to the this Adobe mission in California, right? So it could be a very well-intentioned person that is doing their own demise, let's say. It's unfortunate, right? But this is what it is. This is what we have. Now, other things, let me go back to my notes. Okay, so the ascendant in the inauguration, here you have it, is at 19 degrees of Taurus and is ruled by Venus. And where is Venus? Venus is here in the fourth house of people. And also the fourth house is the opposition, the opposite party to the government here is the opposition. So as you see in this transit, we have a lot more energy in the people than the energy in the authority here, the maximum authority. You have the south node, which is depleting the energy of the maximum authority, and the energy comes back here. North node in Pisces in the fourth house comes back to the people. Venus sandwich between Saturn and Neptune. And to me, Venus is exalted in Pisces, and she is dreaming of a beautiful beautiful, beautiful, gorgeous love affair with Neptune, right? She wants her dreams to be realized and her dreams to be real. But then Saturn comes and it's barely 1 degree apart, less than 1 degree. And Saturn tells her, well, this is the reality check, the reality shower, let's say, because it's Pisces, right? The reality bath. So, so here we have the dreamy people, people who are dreaming of a new world that is so beautiful and great. And Saturn comes and says, well, let me tell you, you won't have enough money to survive the day because Venus is the money, right? And it will tell Venus, well, Venus is dreaming of a lot of spending, and she invested a lot because with Neptune, of course, she dreams of the blueprints that is coming, right? And Saturn tells her, well, you spent it all, lady, and now what you need is nothing. So this is a very contradictory stellium because on one side it says, well, this is a great, it's going to be so wonderful. And then Saturn comes and says, let's see what happens in reality, right? And the North Node is now transiting Pisces. Well, this will be increased. Let me see my notes here. So probably the people in general will have to restrict their expenses and finances and look for serious and stable means. The North Node conjunct Neptune may indicate that the people and the people because it's the fourth house, right? And the opposition because is the opposite to the authority, right? Maybe in La La Land, right? People and the opposition may be in La La Land, believing, being misled, deceived, confused, disoriented, right? All of that. And this Neptune is still in opposition to the natal Neptune, which has been in the past source of chaos. If you go back, I don't remember the year, but it was, let's see, 1854, I think. I don't remember exactly, but it was the great chaos, especially financial chaos. Now, Venus will soon oppose this Neptune, so it will be the complete financial chaos. That's what it means. So now the chart ruler, which is the Sibly chart ruler, which is Sagittarius, the rising, is the ruler is Jupiter. Jupiter is here at 11 degrees of Gemini, indicates that the country's identity depends on the collaboration of others, alliances, and the moves of open enemies, right? Whatever the other does is what sustains this identity. So we can see power struggles also with other countries because, well, here we have Jupiter has been opposing Uranus, and we have seen last year we have seen the confrontations with other countries. Now, remember that why the United States is always in conflict with others. Well, there are two fixed stars that are in the ascendant descendant. They're not exactly, but Antares is 9 degrees Sagittarius and Aldebaran is 9 degrees of Gemini. And they are both on the royal charts, the royal stars. However, and I need a drink of water. What happens is that Antares is of the nature of Mars and Jupiter, so expansion and aggression. So I won't add any comments, but decisively martial and malefic nature of the star, it causes malevolence, destructiveness, liberality, broad-mindedness, evil presages, and danger of fatality, and makes its natives rash, ravenous, headstrong, and destructive to themselves by their own obstinacy. Okay, that's Antares. And this is the description Ptolemy gives. Okay, so other descriptions are these stars, A. Scorpii says, this stars gives the native a keen mentality, courage, sudden happenings, unforeseen events, accidents, liberal tendencies, self-destruction, broad-mindedness, and violence. Okay, so enough to have said it's in the constellation of the Scorpion, and it gives belligerent and pugnacious nature, violent character, and violent death, violent death, either in battle or by the process of law. Okay, so that's Antares. Now, let's go to Aldebaran, which is on the other side, and it will describe the country's enemies. So it is a military and high public preferment, earned or not, can be expected with this conjunction. Honors are possible, and the native can be recognized as a leader in their career. This position brings recognition, glory to those individuals that are earned, they are not earned, meaning that the recognition is not earned. They have not rightfully worked to earn it unless they have pursued a conscious path. With this configuration, all will be lost eventually. Generally, these people or countries use the negative side of this position and become very lazy. The negative side of Jupiter is laziness. Okay, Ptolemy describes Aldebaran was a Mars-type star. Indeed, a red giant can be mistaken for that red planet at times. Of course, it's far away, but our sun, which is a star as well, is like the drop of a pin compared to the size of these stars. That's why they were called royal stars, because they're so huge. Okay, so that is to say that having those royal stars in the ascendant descendant affects the main identity of the country, the main body of the country, which is the people. Okay, so what else? The North Node started its journey in the fourth house, representing people, empowerment, and once the Neptune has moved to Aries and Saturn has moved to Aries. Well, we still have Mercury and Venus going retrograde into Pisces again and joining somewhat the North Node in the following months. But once the North Node is kind of alone there, it will be very empowering to people. So Neptune influence, meanwhile, is this empowerment of the official power, the party in powers, indicates going back to karmic factors of the past. Neptune represents the past, the unconscious past. Loss of power of the commander in chief and all officers in authority, including ruling classes, reputation of government and supreme authorities, lack of credibility. And that is the transit of the South Node over Neptune. As I said, I repeat, South Node over Neptune in the 10th house of the authority, the maximum authority, loss of power of commander in chief and all officers in authority, including ruling classes, reputation of government and supreme authorities is down. And the lack of credibility because Neptune in the 10th house is like having a perpetual misleading, perpetual deception. Okay, so and that's it, folks. I hope this has been illustrative in illumination. As I said, there's nothing political about this analysis. It's just astrology, and you can take it as you like. I really am not interested in your political views, so don't make political comments. So you can contact me for personal readings at this email, and I really appreciate your supporting my channel. This has been a lot of work for several hours, I would say days. So I really appreciate your support and thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.